Everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at a game called Tenby, named after a little town in Wales that's kind of on the seashore. And so you're building the town of Tenby in this game by drafting cards and building different streets. Let's take a look. The basic general principle of how the game works is each player is going to have a playing piece here. So this is a 4-player game. So there's 4 pieces here, and this is the order of play. And on each round of the game, and there's 10 rounds of the game, players will pick one of these cards by putting their token on it. So players will take these cards. They're then going to resolve the cards in numerical order. So the 5 would go first, then the 10, then the 12, then the 13. Then these tokens get placed back here. The cards used or discarded. The card that no one chose has a life preserver put on it, so that if someone picks it next time, and you'll put out 4 new cards. When you activate these cards are going to give you houses, and they're going to give you sea cards, they're going to give you endgame scoring cards, they're going to give you special buildings, and they might give you life preservers that you will then take. That comes from a display here that will be redone every round. You'll have 1 more houses than the number of players. The sea is the number of players, and the special building, you'll have 1 less than the number of players. So if I take a house, I can take one of these, or I can take one off the top of the deck. And if I take these, I can, same thing. You're going to be taking these cards and sticking them into your streets. Everybody has a starting house that they'll be playing, and as you connect it, you're going to be putting the houses next to this. You can't connect water to a house here like that unless there is a card that's kind of halfway between. So if I built this house here, you can see that the next one allows a pier to be built next to it. And the whole end, if possible, eventually you'll play a card that has a check mark on it, which means that end of the street is done. So then I will build on the other end. And if you can't find what you want, there's a pile of cards that are double-sided, so you can always take one that goes down to a pier, and you can always play a card that will end a pier like that. Now, all these cards are going to be trying to score. And usually they have to do with the icons on them on the bottom. If it shows a white arrow, it's talking about the cards that are right next to it. So this is really bad because I just threw these together. But this one gives 1 point for every cloud on these 2 cards. No clouds here, 2 clouds there, so that's worth 2 points. So I would probably want to put a card like this, which gives me 2 cards over in each direction. That's what the gray one's doing. This gives me 1 point per flower. But there's no flowers there. But if I had built something like this and was trying to get more points by maybe building some more flowers on the different sides, maybe I have this over here. Now this card's going to be worth a lot more points to me because it's going to give me 1 flower per point. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flowers. This one gives 2 points for these light posts. I have 1, 2, 3 on the cards next to it. And so that one would be worth 6 points. If you get the special buildings, and there can only be 1 special building per street, it gives you something for the entire street. Like this one here would give me 3 points for every bench on the entire street. And you're going to score for benches, for flowers, for shutters, for signs, for binoculars, for traps, for seagulls. They all will score different ways. You also are going to start the game with a couple of these cards here. You'll pick one, and so this one says clouds in a single street. Do I have 9 or more clouds in a single street? Well, in this street right now, I do, even though this is kind of a sloppy street. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Woo, 15. I'm going to get 5 points at the end of the game. But if the street's finished on both sides, I would get 10. And so sometimes they'll give you, if you have 2 binoculars in the same street. So for each street that's not finished, I get 3. If it's finished on both sides, you get 6. And so after 10 rounds, you're going to score every card in every street, score these special cards that you have gotten, and whoever has the most points is the winner. But what about those life preservers? Well, life preservers can do a few things. When cards are taken, they're not replenished to the end of the round. So you can spend a life preserver to add extra cards to rows. You can spend 2 life preservers to just take another building card, or to move a building card, even sticking it in between other ones. 3 to take a C card, 4 to take a special building, or a scoring card. And then at the end of the game, you'll turn your card over and use some tokens to help you score your final score. And that's how the game's played. Tenby is a very satisfying game. There are a lot of games out there these days about putting things out and scoring points based on what's next to it. Most of them are tile laying games. There are a few, though, that are like this, Santa Monica and things like that. And I like this one a lot because a few things. One, the visual aspect of this is really pretty. Seeing all those cards out and the scoring, you're looking for pictures on the card. There's just something about that. Like, ooh, this one scores for seagulls, and it's between two cards that have a total of 7 seagulls. That's really neat. And I just scored a bunch of points from that. And it's at the end of the game, when you score, you just go through card by card, and you're doing your own little scoring. But the main aspect of the picking your action, very King Domino-esque. I love that idea of picking an action that gives you a lot of stuff, but then you pick later in the next round. But also that one card keeps getting those life preservers on it. And that's just a nice little back and forth. And then the life preservers themselves. I really want another building card. Well, here's 2. I can spend them to get that. Or inserting one in between buildings. The different ways to score, just the prettiness of it. The white houses have little question marks on them. You might have noticed that in the overview. Those are wild colors, so that helps for a lot of the color things. But you're going to score points. You're just going to score lots of points. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win. You can really, wallop somebody as you build your streets. Finishing a street isn't critical. It helps you with those scoring cards and can make them worth more points. But a lot of your points is that special building. You can put one special building per street, and it scores something for the entire street. That's a big deal, and knowing to put the right one out. But there is luck. Sometimes you top deck a card. I hope this card works in my thing. And I like the fact that there's 2 different cards that you can always buy if you don't know what else to do to kind of help you change that background landscape. It's an easy game to play. 10 rounds feels just right. Now, the box I have here includes some family rules, which are amusing. They're like 8 other games, but they're just random games. They're like, we're going to flip cards over and count the seagulls on them. And I found that amusing. I'm talking about just straight up, just regular what's in this box. The game that I showed you there works really well. It's the advanced game, but I think most people are going to easily play it. There's not a lot of complications. You will be taking 10 actions over the course of the game, but those 10 actions are going to give you anywhere from 1 to 4 cards. And you're taking these cards and putting them out there. So you're putting out 20, 30 cards in these grids. And when you're done, there's a strong satisfaction of, look at what I built, but also just counting up the points. So some people may not love it because there's a huge deck of cards, and the luck, you might draw that exact card. Wow, this scoring card gives me, points for all the clouds in my street. This street has tons of clouds. I'm keeping this one. It's great. Or I drew one and it didn't work out so well. There's a little bit of that, but I think for a light game in this regards, this one works really well, visually, but also mechanically. So Tenby was a very pleasant surprise. It's a pleasant-looking game. Pleasant is an adjective I think that I would use about it. It's just nice to play Tenby. So check it out. I'm Tom Vasel. I give this an 8 out of 10. We'll see you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.